Hey, have you ever woke up and you ran out of milk or you don't have coffee and you crave that morning tea or chai or coffee? You don't get it. You go crazy. After all, just a chai or coffee. Why do you go crazy? Because you're obviously addicted to it. It's the habit. See, we all have the habits. And we have good habits, bad habits. There's so many different habits, but they all have the same structure, which is called habit loop. So how does the habit loop work? Well, there is a trigger, and that trigger starts some kind of action or some behavior, and then you get a reward. And because you get the reward, every time there is the same trigger, you do the same action, so on and so forth. And if you keep doing this for, let's say, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, or a lifetime, we build an addiction or a habit. Let's take a simple example. So as soon as you get up, the trigger is waking up, feeling kind of sleepy. So that trigger takes you to your behavior, which is drinking coffee. And as soon as you drink the coffee, because of the taste, the chemicals, the heat, you feel a little bit more awake and you feel good. So because you feel good, you do the same behavior again and again, and you get addicted. So let's look at another bad habit for smokers, for example. So I see a lot of smokers, every time they used to finish a meeting in our company, they will go down, a bunch of them together, and to relax or to take a break, they will smoke. So the trigger is meeting is over or I'm stressed out. That's the trigger, which happens pretty much a couple of times a day for any busy professional. So as soon as that trigger happens, they have trained their minds to do a behavior, which is go for a smoke. And while smoking, they socialize, they're getting some fresh air, they're relaxed, and also the tobacco helps to change the chemical structure in the brain, so they feel good. And because they feel good, they keep repeating the behavior. And someday when they realize they want to stop smoking, it's a little bit too late because they have already built these neural connections. So next time they want to go to smoke, before they even have a conscious thought that I want to go smoke, they're already putting that cigarette in their mouth. That's an example of a bad behavior or a bad habit. Let's see how we can build some good habits. So this habit structure lets you design any kind of good habit or bad habit you want to build. So when I was building Paradiso, I used to travel a lot to meet investors or meet clients, and one client could be in London, another could be in Singapore, next client could be in Dubai. So I used to be on the road at least half of the month. And I realized every time I'm on the road, I don't do my 30-40 minutes of normal exercise, which I always do at home. And I try to figure out why is that. Well, one of the problem was that the meetings will be scheduled sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the evening with the dinner meetings, or sometimes there will be an entire day of the conference. So it was really hard to structure the habit. So what I decided that I will pack my running shoes every time I travel. And as soon as I unpack them, when I arrive in my room, I will put them next to the bed. And no matter what happens, every time I wake up, the first thing in the day I will do is put on the running shoes and go for the run. And just that simple change automatically build this habit to me. So now even if I'm going on a beach vacation, I just can't stop but going for a run because I have built that habit during my travel times. So what you need to do to build your own habit, let's say you want to write more, you want to eat healthy, you want to do more exercise, you want to read more. So what you need to do is you know already what behavior you want. That behavior is here. So that's something you don't want to change. What you can change is what happens before the behavior and after the behavior. So before the behavior, that trigger. So you want to, let's say, write. So one of the triggers you could have is, let's say, every time you're done with the breakfast, you will reserve yourself 1 hour for writing, whether you feel inspired or not inspired. You'll just go on your desk and sit. If the words come out, great. If they don't come out, you just scribble something for an hour. And you will realize, before you know, you will build this habit and your mind will get used to it and ideas will start to flow. And to bribe yourself a little bit, you can also say, okay, if I sit for that 1 hour of writing and if I do some writing, then I'll treat myself with a cookie or with something, whatever else you like. And that's how you can build any kind of habits. So to the break habit, what you have to do is keep the trigger and possibly the reward the same, just change the behavior. So in our smoker's case, so whenever the person is stressed or finish a meeting, instead of going for a smoke, maybe he will make a habit of watching some funny YouTube videos, or going to a cafeteria and eating cookie instead, or drinking coffee. And because he's watching some funny videos, he will be relaxed. If he's going to cafeteria eating something, that will make him feel good. So that's how you can break negative habits, by changing the behavior and keeping the trigger and the reward the same. So what's the habit you want to build, and what's the habit you want to break? In any case, look at this habit loop and design your perfect life.